You ask, you shall receive. You ask, you shall receive. Y'all want to know about the green stuff, the good old fashioned drive rush, that stuff that you see all the high level pros do. What is this stuff? Okay, I'm gonna give it honest to you. Drive rush is used mainly for the two basic steps of extending your combo and what I like to call plus frames. Plus frames just mean if I hit Ryu here, I'm at an advantage of 4 frames, meaning that it will take him 4 frames to recover, and I can throw out another 4 frame move, and he really can't do nothing. Like it's gonna take him a minute to recover, unless he drive reversal or any of that good stuff, or if he's blocking. But that same punch, when we add a little of that green stuff to it, now it's +8. Because that green stuff adds 4 extra frames. So what used to be impossible, like punch into that. Oh, my bad, sorry. Got to turn on that block. What used to be impossible, like a punch into that, because that's too many frames and your opponent can recover, is now possible when we add that green stuff. That incredible hook gets added. All it does is add plus frames. So drive rush adds 4 frames to everything that you do. For example, like I said, if we throw out a light punch, that's 4 frames with the drive rush plus another 4, that gives us 8. Medium punch. Medium punch is 5 frames startup, which gives us an advantage of 4. But if you add, gives you 8 frames because we're adding 4 plus 4. 4 plus 4. Okay? Alright, let me show you one more thing. Heavy punch. Heavy punch gives us an advantage of 3. But if we drive rush into it, it should give us... Okay, nice. I know y'all got that. Y'all know basic math, bro. Just add 4 to 3. You get 7. So every move in the game is like that. Even with heavy kick here. Heavy kick only gives us 1. Drive rush, that should give us 5, right? Nice. So once you figure that out, it's just a button it's just an ability that gives us plus frames to do moves that wasn't possible. So, like I said, if you can't throw out this without them blocking, you can throw out that and it will go through. Okay? Now the next important part of drive rush. Drive rush is to extend your combo. So for example, Ken would have a simple combo that everybody's seen before if you ever played a Ken. 1, 2, or 1, 2, run. I'm sorry about that. 1, 2, run. You've seen it before. But if we add a combo extender. Oh, I did it wrong, guys. Now we can add to it. We can add to that combo. We can throw in an extra hit. Because if we wanted to go, they'll be out of range. And we can't hit them. So we get that speed to drive right on in there. Okay. The most important thing with starting out with drive rush, every move cannot be drive rush cancelable. That is what this is called, where you hit and you go into that drive rush cancelable into another move. So in order to do that, what I recommend is you find out what all buttons work. So for example, light kick, that works. Light punch, that works. Medium punch, that works. What about medium kick? Does not work. Does not work. Cannot drive rush into medium kick. Okay, what about heavy punch? Yes, we can. What about heavy kick? No, we can't. Takes too many frames and it doesn't let us drive rush off of that. But there are some people that know how to do what is called drive rush extenders, where... Okay, so let's go into a character like Cammy. Cammy can do something like into drive rush. So that way you can able to extend to hit your opponent. Because without the drive rush, I can't walk up and hit them. It won't let me. Maybe can get another button. Nope. But if I do drive rush, I'm able to extend my combo from that point. So drive rush is really your playground. You know about the frames, you know what buttons you can drive rush into, but it's all about coming up with your own style. Yeah, there it is, there it is. See what I mean? You can do stuff like that with drive rush. Now let's go over the basics that I may have left out. Drive rush works with the meter above. Can't believe I'm talking about this late into the video, but I wanted to show y'all the cool stuff about it so you can understand the extent of drive rush. But you get 6 bars of drive rush. To activate drive rush, you must hold the parry button and press forward twice in order to do that. But there are other simpler ways as well you can do drive rush that are all in your command list that you can go to, such as your common moves, where you can do a neutral, where you can do contact with somebody and you're able to do it. Like for example, when you first start drive rushing, people are gonna notice because you're holding parry and they get that blue spark and they know you're going for it. But when you start to get quicker and you press drive rush, the drive rush button after going forward, like neutral forward, but it's a way you're able to do it. They call it the max rush. It's where, yeah, see, it's like where you barely see the blue, you just start going instead of holding it and then everybody sees it. So it's one of those things you have to practice, but it is possible. That's how you throw your opponent off. The next way that you can drive rush is after you make contact with your opponent through one of your normal buttons that I was telling you about. A big one in this game that a lot of characters have is crouch and medium kick. So crouch and medium kick, the drive rush buttons you automatically go into, or you can press medium kick, well, crouch and medium kick and press forward twice. Let me turn them inputs on for y'all. That's why, so y'all can see it over there. You see, press down. Oh, there it is. See what I mean? Yeah. So you can do it that way, or you can do until the medium kick, medium punch to get your drive rush off, or whatever you may have your parry button set to. Now, back to the bars ahead, I want to explain. When you're holding parry, remember we talked about parry. Parry takes away your drive rush meter. So, if you do a drive rush from parry, you only use a little bit over a bar and a half, maybe. Probably just, if you do it that way, you're only using a bar, for sure. You're only using a bar if you do it that way. If you're holding a bar and a little bit, maybe a quarter. But if you make contact with your opponent from one of these moves here, look how many bars you use. It's 3 bars. So you have to be able to be crafty with your drive meter, because once you run out of drive meter, you end up in what is called a lot of people's favorite place to be at, burnout. And you cannot drive rush. You can't do nothing. You can't do none of that green stuff. And you take chip damage, meaning if Ryu was to hit me, even though I'm blocking, I will still take damage from that. So make sure you guys keep an eye on your meter, because without that, that's literally the entire game. I do want to teach you guys something about that while I'm in here. If you notice, the meter moves forward as I move forward. The more I'm moving forward, the quicker it recovers. If I move back, it does not. But if I attack, if I throw out attacks against my opponent, that helps bring the meter back faster, you know. So as long as you're walking forward, you're attacking, you're good. But it's going to be scenarios where you may not be able to build that meter because your opponent may be extremely aggressive. But you remember, you want to stay away from that corner to avoid being DI'd. And once you get DI'd, you get stunned, and now you're eating a whole combo that takes up all your life, and you don't want that. So make sure you're very cautious with your meter, bro. So you'll do things like, you know, you drive rush into your combos. You know, maybe sit back a little bit, let your meter build up casually. Or you might drive rush in and get the same combo, you know, with not even having to use that many, not even half the amount of bars you would use if you went into one of those, you know? So it's all about playing around with the meter to find out, and look up some combos from some of your favorite pros to see how they do it. You know. You know, it's so much. Like, Drive Rush opens up this game. It's literally the foundation of Street Fighter 6. What starts out as a very neutral, heavy game can just change within a blink of an eye. Drive Rush grab. You know, Drive Rush, crouching medium punch, a cash out combo if you have one. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much to do. You know, you could cheat. Like, when I say cheat, I mean like those kind of like when you're playing neutral, right? You know, you're walking back and forth, you're trying to get in range to make your opponent throw something out. You know, and then you get that tag and you go in there and you get one of your moves off. It's just extremely good. So make sure you're paying attention to your meter, as well as when your DI, as we talked about in the last video, DI takes a bar from you. And just try to make sure meter management is very heavy in this game. Once you get into like the higher ranks, and you will start seeing people do different combos based off of their meter. Like, there are some people you'll be like, why you didn't go for your level 3, or why did you go for your level 3 too early? They're trying to take that bar away, because if you don't have one of these, like a OD reversal or OD wake up or a DI to your, like, you become very vulnerable and very predictable, you know? So make sure you guys are in the lab, learning your characters, understanding what buttons you can convert off Drive Rush, and keep on playing. You guys are gonna get there. Drive Rush is can be very complex, but once you got the basics down, I promise it's very easy. Get in that lab, get to work, and find out some of your combo extenders that you would like to do. For example, a lot of people know Cammy very well. Well, let me do the cash out one for y'all. And that's just a cash out combo that uses everything, all her resources, and gets you that big damage. So I hope you guys have fun with the green stuff. Let me know what's up, guys. What videos y'all want to see me make next. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great day.